when you're stitching the 3D poinsettia, color number 14 is a placement line for the first set or the bigger set of petals. So if you can see here, it's stitched in gold. There is a funky shape stitching line that goes here around the center, and it has little notches that stick out. That is to allow you to position the petals where they need to go. Now, when you're actually at the embroidery machine, you're going to place one petal at a time, and make sure that you have the most recent version of the poinsettia design. I did change it to make it a little easier, so it's actually going to have you, once you've got this, you're going to place the first petal, and it's going to go here. There's a line here marking the edge. This bit here is in from all the rest of the circle. That is the last petal that goes down. So this is the first one here. So a petal will fit in between these two notches. So you're going to put the petal there. You can use a little bit of Scotch Magic tape if you like, literally straight across there, and that will hold it in place, or you can just hold it with your fingers. Totally up to you how comfortable you are with your fingers near the needle. Now the machine is going to stitch from here around to here, and then it's going to go back again a little bit. That will anchor that petal on, and then you're going to be ready for the next petal. So the next petal goes down. Now you can't see under here, but you can see that the next edge is here. So we're going to put that petal in place there. Yeah, these guys don't overlap too much right there. So this guy is going to go in place there. Again, either hold it in place with your finger or put a little Scotch tape on. The needle is now going to stitch from here around to here, and it's going to go back just a little bit. This guy goes on here. Same deal, it's going to stitch around and then backtrack a little bit so that it's actually in the right position for the next petal to go on. This guy sits here. This guy is going to sit here. This one goes here. And this is where this last bit comes in. It's showing you that the petal is going to sit right there, but you want to make sure that it is actually out on the same level as all of the other petals. So having stitched up to here, it's going to go all the way around the inside again, and then it's going to do a zigzag. So that will get that stitched in place. Now, what I found when I stitched these dies is that the petals do have a tendency to lift up a little bit. It actually looks gorgeous whilst it's happening. So you might want to use the tape to anchor the petals fully and help it to stitch. So once it's done that set of petals, you will wind up with another placement line that comes in the middle, and I will show you how that is going to work when we get there. So let's gather up these petals again. I'll go back to the machine and you'll be able to watch as I actually get these petals stitched in place. are a couple of little places where you have to be really careful. This was the first place, which you will have seen on the video. We got a little bit caught up here, so beware of that. And also got a teeny tiny bit caught up here when the stitching went from going this way back around that way. So just be careful and slow your machine down so it stitches as slow as possible. Now, I stitched out the next color, which is in the center here, showing where to put these guys. And whereas we had this one going down first and we were going clockwise, this time we are starting here and we're going counterclockwise. So you'll see we've got these kind of pointy bits, and that corresponds with the bottom edge of the petals. So that guy goes there, hold it in place, stitch it. This guy will come in right there. Then this guy and this guy all the way around until we have all 8 petals in place. And it will eventually look like that. So it will give you a stop on at each point so that you can pop the petal down, and then it will do some securing stitches. Once that's in place, then we will be ready to deal with the center. When you've stitched the placement line for the center, watch out as you're coming back around here. This petal, for whatever reason, wants to get caught up on the foot, so you need to be just a little bit careful. Go really slowly still when you are stitching this placement line. Now it's time to add the center, and it's just a simple little disc or little circle of fabric backed with fusible webbing. Now you can just pop that right down there and everything is good, or you can cut yourself a couple of pieces of batting that have fusible webbing on them. So what I did was I popped some fusible webbing onto a piece of batting, drew around this circle, and then cut the circle out inside of the drawing line. And then this guy is another little ring of batting, which is even smaller, and this guy fits kind of right in the middle there. So let's take the backing paper off there, and I'm going to have that guy sit right in the hole, kind of filling in the divot there in the center of the in the center of the petals and see if we can actually get that to stick in there. Then I'm going to take the backing paper of this bit of batting. This one doesn't want to come off. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to stick that right on the top. See if we can get that to stick in there. And last but definitely not least, we're going to pop the actual fabric applique right over the top and give that a good fuse in place. I think that's just about done it. Okay, now we're going back to the machine and finish up all of the stitching. And again, be aware of this bit here. It just seems like when the machine is coming around this way, the angle of the foot seems to want to just kind of pick up on that guy and get tangled in a knot. So just go slowly as you're finishing off the stitching here.